Okay. How is everybody doing today? Welcome to World of Warship Legends. Captain Ron Phillips here. How are you guys doing today? It's been a while. This is now the third time I've tried to do this because I've never... Hang on here. I've never actually broadcast on the PlayStation 5. I'm new to the PlayStation 5, and I can tell you right now, I am not a fan of it compared to the 4. Because now I have to start the broadcast, but then go back on the menu and make sure my recording is on, my microphone is on. So yeah, this is pathetic. So the Spanish have returned. Welcome back to the land of the living, I guess. The Spanish Armada has joined World of Warship Legends in a early access line of Spanish cruisers. We have Bound by Duty, a 3-week calendar to get a Spanish commander, and your one already commander we're starting. We have a brand new update, along with a new campaign. We just finished the 6th birthday of World of Warship Legends here, and that was a rather rewarding birthday. I got quite a lot of goodies and good ships out of that, out of the special birthday crates, the pinata boxes out of that. So, but first, as in the title, we're going to go ahead, we're going to talk about the Spanish Armada here, the Spanish. So we're going to start with right here, the collections, because there is a card collection here through some chests to get in here. The Armada Española, and you'll get 12 cards, and you'll receive a Premium 2 Cruiser, the Mendez Nunez. And let's take a look at that. And she's a rather interesting looking ship here. She's got quite a few guns on her. She's got 3 in the front, 3 in the back. And the one thing that I find interesting about the Spanish cruisers is you can see they got the Spanish flag really prominent here on the bow and towards the stern here. You don't normally see that, and that's not. And I don't know if that's a premium. Oh, it wouldn't tell me. I don't know if that's a premium skin or not. Camouflage, but most of the time you see some Japanese ships will have the big red circle on the deck, or the Germans will have the either the cross or the swastika on the deck. Everybody else pretty much has the flag flying there, so you can tell what ship it is. Or the Italians have like the barbershop, like the candy cane. Red and white running up and down half the bow, going towards the whole bow section right there before the cannons show up. It's all red and white, like a candy cane or a barbershop total, and makes no sense. But so I thought this was interesting. That's like that we're going to prominently tell you that this is a Spanish ship with the Spanish flag on it. Now, this is where it gets weird. Now, of course, because this is a Spanish ship, and we have to add some new weird twist to these, like with the Dutch cruisers. Some of them have like the planes that you can fly and do airstrikes with, and they drop all those little bombs that look like a bunch of little goddamn balloons that fly on you. The Spanish ships have what they call shells in ready rack. And ready rack reload time 1.5 seconds, but then regular reload time 18 seconds. I have to see this thing in action in order to understand what this means, because I'm a dunce. You could tell me how this will work, and I could probably understand it, because to me, when it says ready rack, I'm thinking to myself, is this kind of like a main battery, like how you see in movies or documentaries, like the ready rack, kind of like magazine they would throw in like anti-aircraft guns, where it's like it's this big clip or magazine that they fill the weapon with. That's got like 6 or 7 huge bullets in it, and again it's got four barrels, and the guy sitting there is going bump 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 bump, and then it empties, and then they all have to rip the thing out and put a brand new one. And so, is this what they mean by ready rack? I'd have to see this thing in action in order to figure this out. I mean, because you could tell me, and I'll understand what you're saying, but I'm going to be like, but how does that help me trying to figure out how to use this on a PlayStation 5 remote? Because I don't know. So that will be interesting to see. And another thing I've really noticed about these Spanish cruisers is this is a tier 2. Look how thick that armor is along the waterline where the citadel is. And all of them except I think one ship, which is the tier 5, Belarus, does not have this. These things are not going to be easy to citadel hit. This is, I mean, unless you're in a battleship with unsurmountable firepower. If it's cruiser to cruiser, these things might be able to, they're not going to be easy to take out with. And this is a tier 2, and you've got orange armor along the waterline. I mean, and I think if it said, well, no, not this one, but some of the earlier ones, some of the early boats, as you'll see, they have already a torpedo resistance. And they're like, you don't see very many low-tier ships with already, and it's a cruiser with a torpedo resistance. This is very interesting. Oh, but this is the Mendez Nunez, and we're going to talk. That name's going to come up again, and I'm going to apologize now. I am not the smartest man. I do not speak Spanish. I don't know Spanish. I know I am going to wreck a lot of these names. I apologize, and I'm going to apologize every time I bring it up. I don't speak other languages. I take it back. I speak 3 languages: English, bad English, and bullshit. Those are the 3 languages I speak. And so this is, I'm going to get these wrong. I know that. I apologize. But the Mendez Nunez has long reach with main batteries, is fast, and has this skill on it called revolver. Main guns can fire several times with a short interval between shots, but reloading takes longer than usual. So to me, that kind of tells me that these are preloaded magazine shelled guns, and then you have to rip the thing up. And instead of doing one shell full, you'll be able to fire more often, but you're going to be taking a little bit longer to refill the entire thing. Kind of like I said, the magazine to go to an AA gun. So that's how I'm thinking these things are. So, the history of the Mendez Nunez. Blas de Lazo and Mendez Nunez were laid down in 1917. As the deceased Admiral Mendez Nunez's namesake ship couldn't be completed in time for the 100th anniversary of his birth, the ship's names were swapped. During the Spanish Civil War, Mendez Nunez's crew sided with the Republicans. The cruiser was damaged in a 1938 rebel air raid. So this is basically a rebel ship. Oh, that's funny, with the rebellion. But that name Mendez Nunez is going to come up here again pretty soon. So this is from the card collection that you'll see through the campaign. There's some string missions I'll show you there where you get the cards. Now let's go down to the bottom here. The open calendar, bound by duty. And as you can see, I've already finished the first 2 days. This is my third attempt to do this damn live because my microphone keeps getting turned off, and I am not happy about it. So, but I think I've got it this time. So, we have our 3 weeks worth of tasks that we need to do with their own little rewards that come with it. And here we have our Spanish cruiser big crate, which is where our early access Spanish cruisers are, with a dedicated mission for each Spanish cruiser you unlock. So there's always a good chance. Usually, when you're able to get a couple of crates, the first couple of crates, they always usually drop one, and then you won't get anything, and then maybe like the last one you'll get, one will pop up. But yeah, I mean, the first one I grabbed was the Tier 3 early access crate, and you'll see that in a minute there. And we have the Escudo de España flag to honor the Spanish fleet with the flag, and of course, always the third one is an insignia. But you get all three, and we will receive this gentleman. He is a Spanish commander, Pascual Savara Y Topete, I guess. I don't know. I'm just going to call him Savara or Savera, whatever. I'm just going to go with that, because the rest of it, I am terrible. I'm bad. I apologize. But let's see what this guy's all about. He looks serious. His base trait, Enduring Spirit. Incoming damage from shells, torpedoes, and bombs to your cruiser per 1% lost. Okay, so you get tougher as you get weaker. That's pretty good. So you take less, and you still take damage, but it'll get less and less and less and less and less. That's nice. Let's see here. Burn it down. Ingenuous. No fly zone. Yeah, whatever. All the basics. Well, this is new. Forewarned command. Cruiser main battery reload time while detected by enemy ships. Huh. Detectability time after firing main battery guns plus 35%. Okay. Well, see, now that's interesting. Now, if you're detected, and that goes all the way up to a 10%. Wow. Because I see this right here, main battery reload time, with on second thought. So this guy, that's 5%. You get him maxed out, you can get a 15% reload deduction. Ooh. You could be a really quick shot with this guy. Interesting. And then you got Sponge, of course. Fixated, which is good for the grouping and dispersion. Steer clear, if you're into sonars. And then now he has a special skill for that ready rack shot. Honorable sacrifice. Shells in your cruiser's ready rack, but then that takes away your cruiser's maximum HP, and it adds to or it has a penalty to reload time for the cruisers with the ready rack. So to me, that, unless I see this in action, to me, it almost isn't worth it. I mean, it almost isn't. I mean, it makes it more challenging. Absolutely. So I mean, again, I would have to see this in practicality. I'd have to see how this works. So, since we can't have him until we finish the 3 weeks worth of calendar, well, we have to have a commander if we get any early access Spanish cruisers day one. So who do we have? Well, there's that name again. Mendez Nunez. Casto Mendez Nunez. And as you can see here, he does not have any special traits that are like just for him here in the presets. He has all basic abilities and traits here on the side. But his base trait is, I don't remember who it is, but it's about the same with a couple other cruiser captains. Honor before ships, sea detectability range, and maximum movement speed. Okay, that's not bad. And also, he doesn't have any indistinguishable or individual specific legendary skills either. Like the Cervera, the past guy we just had. But does that make him any less a commander? No. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, we didn't even read. We'll go back to Mendez. We didn't read him. Commander bio for Mendez Nunez. Castro Mendez Nunez, 1824 to 1869. Oh, he didn't live very long. Was a rear admiral of the Spanish Navy and one of the most famous Spanish naval commanders of the 19th century. His career coincided with the transition from sail to steam and the appearance of the first ironclad warships. During his short life, Mendez Nunez participated in 4 wars, was wounded in battle several times, and circumnavigated the globe once. While commanding the Spanish squadron in the Philippines on November 17, 1861, Mendez Nunez stormed a fort in Pagalongan, skillfully maneuvering his flagship, the steam schooner Constancia, right up to its walls. In 1864-65, he commanded the first Spanish Navy ironclad, armored frigate Numancia, sailing her to the Pacific Ocean and proving that ironclads were capable of being ocean-going. In 1865-66, Admiral Mendez Nunez commanded the Pacific Squadron in the war against Peru and Chile, operating several thousand miles away from Spanish bases. The years spent on endless voyages undermined the naval commander's health. He died at the age of 45, holding the post of Vice President of the Spanish Admiralty. Wow. But boy, did he do a lot in 45 years. And that's saying something, because I'm 41. And man, this guy, yeah, a true sailor there. Awesome. So we forgot. Let's go back to Mr. Cervera here. And let's see what he has to say. Pascual Cervera, 1839 to 1909, was a vice admiral of the Spanish Navy. As a young officer, he participated in several conflicts, including times when he served under the command of the famous Admiral Mendez Nunez. Oh, so he actually served under him. Very nice. Promoted to Rear Admiral in 1892, he briefly served as Minister of the Navy, then as Naval Attaché in London, where he observed the development of the world's leading navy. In 1897, Cervera was appointed to command the Spanish squadron in Cuba. Before the war with the U.S., he worked to improve crew training and the efficiency of the squadron. On June 3, 1898, his squadron, 4 cruisers and 2 destroyers, was defeated in the Battle of Santiago de Cuba, and when he was captured. However, his bravery against overwhelming odds earned admiration in both Spain and the U.S., and he returned home a national hero. Interesting. He didn't live much longer after that, but interesting. Very interesting. So, I wonder if he had anything to do with the sinking of the USS Maine. I wonder. Of course, they don't say anything here, but I wonder. So, that's our 2 commanders. Why don't we look at our ships? And we have here our ships here. Tier 1 through 8. And, of course, Tier 3 through 8 is the early access. And, of course, I've got the Tier 3, which, of course, is named after Cervera. So, I thought that was nice. So, I got the boat named after the guy in the calendar. And you get the cards to get the boat that's named after the the regular commander and the premium. Oh, okay. But, of course, as soon as the update started, you are able to buy the first cruiser and the Tier 2 cruiser, Jupiter and Navarra. So let's go ahead and look at Jupiter here, the first of these Spanish ships. And again, as I said before, all of them are going to have the Spanish flag here on the side of the hull. So that's just something we're just going to have to get used to. And this thing is a rather short, stocky, kind of like bulky, kind of like fat, like little, not fat, but just bulky. She looks heavy. She's not very big, but she'll just the way it looks to me. It's sort of short and it's just bulky. And we got 1, 2 guns there, and 2 guns there. Okay. And this thing does not have the shot stock that we saw earlier. The tier 1, 2, 3, and 4, I don't think the tier 4 has it. I think it starts at tier 5. So 1 through 4, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, but of course, this is a tier 1. It's not going to have super armor, obviously. But it is tough. It is got good concealment. It is so it can hide. Unfortunately, she's a little slow. So Jupiter. In the 1930s, Spain began building modern mine layers named after Roman gods. The Jupiter-class ships were also intended to serve as gunboats, requiring them to be equipped with strong artillery. While still under construction, the lead ship of the Jupiter-class was captured by rebel nationalists. After her commissioning, she joined the blockade of the Republican coast in the Bay of Biscay, intercepting transports and laying minefields, one of which sank the rebel battleship Hispana. Oh, so that's interesting. So this thing was originally built to lay down mines for a minefield. And I had thought, what if the later tiers, the upper tiers, instead of torpedoes, actually started launching mines? Would make it a little interesting. I mean, you could just. I mean, I don't know. That would be interesting because you could detect the torpedo, but you can't detect a submine, a minefield in the water. So I thought, that got me going for a minute there. But yeah, I mean, you'd be afraid to move a ship if you thought that you were fighting a class of ships that could just lay down mines in front of you. You wouldn't want to sail anywhere. So, especially if it's just one guy left on the map with like 5 minutes to go in the match, and you're going after trying to find somebody who also is the only person left on his team, but he's sailing around in one of these things, dropping mines everywhere behind him, and like you don't know where he is. And there's a bunch of islands everywhere, and that's just. So that's the Jupiter. So next we have the Navara, which is our tier 2 ship, which is also free once you finish the Jupiter. And already I see that the bridge is a little totem pole-ish right there. If you see what I mean, it's a little, but it does have something there in the front, kind of like it's like a picture of an angel or something. So that's interesting. Oh, and she does have a gun there in the middle. Oh. 2 guns in the middle. Okay. So she's got 2 in the middle, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. And a totem pole bridge. 9-second reload. Okay. 25 knots. 8.8 kilometer detectability. That's pretty good. Now, here we go. Who has ever seen a tier 2, a regular tier 2 ship with thick armor like that around its waterline and its citadel? I can't think of any. This thing is going to be hard to citadel hit. That is unbelievable. And of course, every Spanish ship will have the tough and hidden. Just about every one of them will have tough and hidden for pluses or minuses there. The Navara, named after Victoria Eugenides of Battenberg, wife of the reigning Spanish king. The ship was laid down in March 1915. The project was influenced by the design of British cruiser Birmingham. The ship served in the Rif War 1923-26, underwent a major overhaul in 1928-29, and was transferred to the Naval School in Cadiz in 1930. After the Second Republic was proclaimed, she was renamed Republica. At the start of the Spanish Civil War, she was seized by rebel nationalists. She was renamed Navarra in 1937. Okay. So again, another rebel ship. Interesting. Very interesting. And of course, here's the one that I have, which is the Cervera, and I already used a couple of Pinata things on here. The Pinata camo in the battle, I already used it earlier. So, yeah, just 11.5-second reload, and we're starting to see torpedoes. 62 knots, which is about normal for a cruiser. 6 kilometers, not very far, but that's again about your standard for your cruiser that's not Japanese, because the Japanese cruisers will also have outlandishly wild 10 to 12 kilometer range with their torpedoes. 90-second reload, about 12,000 damage. That's nice. And yeah, not bad. Yep. Maximum speed 35 knots. Detectability by range 9.2 kilometers. And again, there's that orange line right there. That nice bright orange line. This thing is not going to get Citadel hit anytime soon. In 1922, with help from British company Armstrong, Spain started building new cruisers based on the E-class design. The Spanish version differed mainly in the layout of its propulsion systems. At the start of the Civil War, Republicans attempted but failed to take the Cervera out of port, and she was ultimately taken by Franco's side, who I guess is the president or the leader of Spain against the Republicans, I'm guessing. The cruiser took part in coastal blockades, supported troop advances, escorted convoys, and fought in the Battle of Cape Palos. Okay. Not bad. Now let's take a look at what else we got here. This is the Tier 4. This is the Galicia. And yeah, again here, it's just regular shells. 10-second reload. Torpedoes, now we're starting to get slow. 59 knots. Still 6 kilometers. Still under 12,000 damage. We want that speed to go up a little bit. We don't want it to slow down. Now here's a Tier 4 with torpedo damage reduction. You don't normally see that in a cruiser, too. You'll see it in a battleship, but not really in a cruiser, especially when it's not a premium. At least not that I've seen. If I'm wrong, guys, please comment and let me know if I'm wrong. There it is again. That nice, thick line right there covering that Citadel. With the Republic's establishment, cruiser Felipe Alfonso was renamed Libertad. At the outbreak of the Civil War, she stayed with the Republicans despite being commanded by Franco's cousin. At Cape Tenes, Libertad scored several hits on nationalist heavy cruiser Belarus, and she went on to fight enemy cruisers at Cape Palos. The ship was later damaged during several Italian air raids. When Libertad fell into the hands of the Francoist government, she would receive the name Galicia. And yeah, she looks a little bit more sleeker now. She's got the 2 double barrels here. They took away the guns in the middle. We don't have the totem pole bridge anymore, but she's starting to look a little sleeker. They got her longed out now. So that's pretty nice. Doesn't look like they hardly got any secondary weapons at all. Just maybe a couple of... Maybe those are gun mounts there? Let me see here. Yeah, that's anti-aircraft. That's anti-aircraft. I'm not sure if this thing has any secondaries. That's scary. Wow. No, it doesn't. There is no secondaries. Wow. I just noticed that. Okay. Tier 5, the Belarus. Now we have the shells in the ready rack. Torpedoes, 7 kilometers, still under 60 knots. Damage is better. Only 80-second reload, so that's not too bad. Now we're starting to get into our regular detectability range for cruisers. Maneuverability, 33 knots. Now, this is the one that does not have the orange stripe along it for the armor for the Citadel hit. That's what I was looking for. And I was right. It is the Tier 5. So, yeah. And again, tough and fast, though, this time instead of hidden. So he can move fast. And then it has that revolver skill. Now, the rest of them are all going to have this skill, revolver. Main guns can fire several times with a short interval between shots, but reloading takes longer than usual. I'm not really looking forward to that. In 1926, Spain ordered 2 Washington Treaty cruisers, Canarias and Baleares, named after Spanish archipelagos. Their construction was delayed until the Nationalists seized the shipyards and sped up work. Baleares joined the Malaga offensive, raiding shipping and coastal defenses before being sunk by Republican destroyers at the Battle of Cape Palos. Okay, and you can see this one is we got the long double barrels here now. We don't have the guns in the middle, and we see some guns here for the secondaries, absolutely. But yeah, a little sleeker, a little bit of a mix of both, a little sleek and a little stout as well. Not bad, not bad. It's just now it's just your basic cruiser there. It's just your regular armor there. So don't have that super line. Next, Tier 6 is the Asturias, which again, the ready racks, torpedoes, 61 knots, which is about normal, 8 kilometers, which is about normal, or at least pretty good in the sun, right, for cruisers. Just under 16,000 and a 106-second reload. Ugh. So you're looking at almost 2 minutes. Now we're starting to see more torpedo damage reduction, 4%. 35 knots. Yeah, not bad. There's that line there. All the rest of them, I do believe, have this nice orange line right there. So they're protecting their water line. They're protecting their citadel. Yeah. Again, tough, fast revolver. Ties between the fascist regime in Italy and the Francoists strengthened after the latter claimed victory in the Spanish Civil War. These ties also manifested themselves in the field of naval construction. Spain planned to get to grips with the latest achievements in Italian shipbuilding in an effort to strengthen its fleet. Italian company Ansaldo furnished Spain with 3 projects for a heavy cruiser that differed from each other in the composition of their armament. One of the options included 4 203mm twin-gun mounts, and that would be this one. So that's why this kind of almost looks like, kind of reminds me of the Trento, with the 2 squarish turrets there with the small cannon sticking out, the real thin cannon sticking out, and a whole great big amount of space between the edge of the end of the bow, the keel, and the first set of cannons there. This thing reminds me of the Trento so much. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like their version of it, even though the Trento is a Tier 5. Next, Tier 7, the Catalunya, or the Cataluna. I'm sorry, the Cataluna. I didn't see it very far. And again, looking like it's definitely taken Italian ship making ideas here. That long, thin bow and that long, thin tail at the stern there. And of course, they got the catapult for the planes now. So, Cataluna. Again, we've got the shells in the ready rack. Torpedoes, still about the same as the last. Torpedo damage, now 7%. Maneuverability, 37 knots. And now we're just into regular cruiser concealment. And of course, there's that nice big orange line right there. That Citadel is not getting hit. Tough, fast revolver, same as before. After the nationalists proclaimed victory in the Civil War, ties between Spain and the fascist regime in Italy built up momentum. Suffering from a scarcity of modern ships of all types in its service, Spain planned to study the latest advancements in global shipbuilding, including those made by Italy. The Ansaldo Company came up with 3 heavy cruiser projects for Spain, each with its own armament composition. One of the projects provided for armament to be made of up to 3 203mm triple gun mounts, which is this guy. So this is one of the 3. The last one we saw, the Tier 6, was another one of the 3. So I imagine the Tier 8, which is the last one, is of course the last one, obviously, to see. So yeah, definitely looks Italian to me. Kind of reminds me of the Napoli. So, last one here is the Andalusia. Let's see what this puppy looks like. Oh, look at that. Bigger guns, bigger guns. Bigger guns. Oh, wow, that is some really big secondary armaments there on the side. Yeah. Absolutely. 28 seconds, 2 shells in the ready rack. Torpedoes, back up in the 60s for knots. 8 kilometers, just under 17,000 damage. Not bad. Torpedo damage reduction 16%. And of course, once again, the final ship is that long, long orange line. But you notice it's the light orange, it's not the dark orange. So this one is not as armed as the last couple along that citadel and along that water line. So this one... And finally, again, fast, tough, and revolver. In 1938, Francoist Spain developed several destroyers and cruiser designs displacing 7,920 to 19,000 tons. The largest, Project 138, a cruiser with a speed of 36 knots, proposed multiple main battery options, from incorporating battleship Espana's turrets to a more common layout of 3 triple-gun turrets with either 203 to 254 millimeter guns. Oh, so this thing was built to possibly stick the battleship turret on it. Well, that looks like a damn battleship turret right there. Oh my goodness. Kind of reminds you of the Admiral Graf Spee. I mean, hey, if they could do it, why couldn't anybody else? Why couldn't a cruiser run around with a gigantic battleship turret on it? But then, of course, you think of that update from last year. If they actually made aircraft carriers with battleship turrets on it, man, what would that have looked like in World War II? Oh my goodness! So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Spanish Armada, the Spanish fleet. Not bad. Armor-wise is really good. Torpedoes about normal. They all have tough HP. So they're not ironclad, but they all have a higher HP pool. And that Tier 5 to Tier 8, that ready rack, that revolver, that's going to be interesting to see. I have to see it in practice to understand it better. Because, like I said, I'm a bit of a dunce. But that's only half the battle. And like G.I. Joe said, knowing is half the battle. But the other half here, we have the campaign. And the campaign ship is also a cruiser by the name of Hector. And this one is a European Commonwealth one. So let's see what this puppy looks like here in just a second. Give me a second. So, Hector, let's take a look at you. No, I wanted to view the ship. Oh my. Look at that. 4 guns in the front. Wow. Big bridge in the front. A lot of guns everywhere. And look at the... Oh, wow. 3 guns in the back. Wowzers. That puppy's ready to go. Interesting. So, and a 6.7 reload. Torpedoes, 12 kilometers, 62 knots, again, which is about normal for cruisers. Just under 17,000 damage, but a 96-second reload. That's pretty good. And it has smoke. Very nice. Very nice. And, yep, look at that right there. That nice orange line there protecting its water line, protecting its citadel. Oh, yes. Guns aplenty, reloader, and a rapid reload for the torpedo. Above average reload torpedo speed. Yep. In 1936, Great Britain started designing a cruiser based on a smaller version of the hull of the Southampton-class cruisers. As a result, the Fiji-class ships were developed. However, had Great Britain decided to build full-size AA defense cruisers, a project could have been implemented that embodied an AA defense cruiser based on the hull of a Belfast-class ship, which is what I imagine this is. An AA defense cruiser, because those guns look like huge goddamn AA guns, on the hull of a Belfast. So that's probably what this guy is. That's kind of intimidating. I'm not sure if I want... I don't know if I want to be anywhere near that. That kind of freaks me out. Interesting. Okay. So, that is pretty much the update in a nutshell. Now, in the store, they do have... they brought back Azure Lane, which is an anime based... which is like a ship anime, which you can get chests for. They have a line of ships that you can buy called Amber Horizon, which are basically ships that take ancient Egyptian kind of like skins for, and that they're which is very interesting, very interesting looking. Well, we'll go ahead and look here. Here's the Kepler, which is a battleship, a tier 6, which is based off of the North Carolina. And look at that puppy. Look at that. The purple, the white, the gold, the scarab beetle holding the jewel there in the middle, along the side of the boat in the water. Yeah, this is not... If you've got the money to get this, look at how the sun shines off of that gold. That is freaky. That is really freaky. That is nice looking. That is really nice looking. And then you got the Mirage, which is based off of the Amali, the Italian tier 7. And that thing, yeah, again, that one looks like it's just all gold right there. Look at the etching on some of that. Jesus Christ, look at that. Yeah, look at that beautiful thing. Yeah. Wow. I mean, who would want to shoot at this thing? Seriously. Who would want to shoot at this thing? Oh my goodness. And then we got the Mataga. which is a Soviet Tier 8 premium ship based on the Navarin, which is a big girl, by the way. Look at that. The red, the gold. Look at how big those dang cannons look. Oh my goodness. The patterning, that almost kind of gives it like an Arabian kind of look instead of Egyptian. That kind of looks almost Arabian. Man, can you imagine seeing this thing coming after you? That is nice looking. It really is. And then you got the last one, the Sharky. A little Sharky. No baby shark. No. Right. This is based off of the legendary German Z-52, which I have. And look at that. Red, gold, purple in the front. Man, look at that. That is incredible. Wow. That is nice. That is nice, guys. That really is. That is nice. That is really nice. And then, of course, you have, they're not actual commanders, but they're like commander guises. An adventurer, a salesman, and I guess an assassin. Yeah. Very interesting stuff there. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little update here with World of Warship Legends. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit this like button if you would like to. And don't forget to subscribe to the Captain Ron Phillips channel. We've got a lot going on. We've got a walkthrough of Red Dead Redemption that's nearly done. We have still stuff to accomplish on Star Trek Online, which if today is September 9th, 2025. Yesterday, September 8th, Star Trek celebrated its 59th birthday, 59th anniversary. So Star Trek Online is doing like a little birthday week thing there, which I will see if it is different than the one I did a couple of years ago. And if it is, that will be on YouTube here today as well. And I also want to do a mission for Red Dead Redemption today, get that out. And also, got some more stuff coming out here in the next few months. I'm trying to get through it as best as I can. It's just there's been so much going on. I almost had to give up on this, take a hiatus off it because I just had so much going on over here and just not able to get anything done. And that kind of stuff is more important than this. I mean, because I do this for fun. This isn't my job. This isn't my. I just do this for fun, and I appreciate everybody who's contributed or commented or given it a review or everything. I thank everybody. I never thought in a million years I'd get 100 subscribers, let alone even 10 or 2 for that matter. So, thank you very much, everybody. This is Captain Ron Phillips. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon to be notified next time we have a video coming out. And here very, very soon here, as soon as I turn this off, I am going to go onto Star Trek Online and check that birthday event and see if that's worth putting on, or if that's any different, I should say, I'm sorry, than the one I did 2 years ago. And I'm going to try and do a quick mission here with Red Dead Redemption and get that done so I can get what I need to get done here today because it's still early enough in the morning. Until then, everybody, this is Captain Ron Phillips. Be good. Have a great day. See you later. Take care of everybody.